Welcome back to Swordbox, and Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us today. Let's check out our verse. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. James 1, 2, and 3, and we're continuing to talk about faith today. We've been talking about faith this week, and an important point to make about faith is that I realize that faith isn't easy. And if you have faith, you can guarantee if you're going to follow Jesus, your faith is going to be tested. And I want you to remember that God's goal for us is not to live the great American dream. It is to be conformed to the image of His Son, Jesus Christ, to be salt and light, and to be His witnesses to a lost world if you're a Christian. Of course, if you're not a Christian, His goal for you is to put faith in His Son, Jesus Christ. I want to give you a few examples about faith today. As we think about examples of faith that was tested in the Bible, we can think about Job and how our faith is tested when bad things happen to good people. Or we can think about Jonah when things don't work out quite the way we think they should. Our faith is tested. Or Abraham, who had to wait for the promises of God. Let me read to you 1 Peter chapter 1, 6 through 9. It says, "Though now for a little while, if need be, you have been grieved by various trials, that the genuineness of your faith, being more precious than gold that perishes, though it is tested by fire, may be found to praise, honor, and glory at the revelation of Jesus Christ, whom having not seen you love, though now you do not see Him, yet believing you rejoice with joy inexpressible and full of glory, receiving the end of your faith, the salvation of your souls." I'll give you another example. "We are bound to thank God always for you, brethren, as is fitting, because your faith grows exceedingly, and the love of every one of you all abounds toward each other, so that we ourselves boast of you among the churches of God for your patience and faith in all your persecutions and tribulations that you endure." So there's no doubt about it, if you're going to follow Jesus, your faith is going to be tested. And if you're, any walk of life, you're going to experience trials, you're going to experience tribulations. And what I want to do is just give you a few examples of what you can do when the trials and the tests and the tragedy comes, to remember a few things. The first thing I'd tell you to remember is Romans 8:28, and it says that we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose. You know what? We will not understand everything that happens, but we can trust for God to work it for our good. That doesn't mean that everything that happens is good. It just means that when we're following God in faith, He will eventually work all things for our good. Second thing I want to tell you was Romans 8:29, and it says, "For whom He foreknew, He also predestined to be conformed to the image of His Son." So like I said before, God's goal through the trials, through the tragedies, even through the good things, is for us to be conformed and to be like Jesus. The third thing I would tell you is in Romans 8:31, and it says, "If God is for us, who can be against us?" So no matter what you're going through, if God is for you, man, that's the main thing. If we walk with Jesus in faith, then we can know for sure that God is for us. The fourth thing I would tell you is found in Romans 8:32, and it says, "He who did not spare His own Son for us, but freely gave Him up, will He not also give us all things?" And the point here is that His love has been proven, and His love is an action love. He's already shown us love the most significant way He could do by His own Son. And the fifth thing would be Romans 8:37, "Yet in all these things we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us." We won't just survive, we will thrive, and in the end, we will always win with Jesus. Now, I want to leave you with one of my favorite verses in the Bible. It's from James chapter 5, verse 11, and it says, "Indeed we count them blessed who endure. You have heard of the perseverance of Job, and seen the end intended by the Lord, that the Lord is very compassionate and merciful." So, no matter what you're going through today, no matter how hard your faith is being tested, if you'll just stay in faith, keep your focus on God, He's going to turn things around. In the end, God is always for your good, and it's always to work things out for His glory as well. I want you to hang in there. Let's start off this new year trusting God with our most holy faith. Remember, it's not that our faith is so great, but that our God is so great, and you can trust in Him. God bless you. Happy New Year, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.